Hey, once again, everyone, and thank you for checking out Weather for Weather Geeks. If you're new to these long-form videos, this is my opportunity to really take a deep dive into our local weather, some national weather stories as well, and get to a lot of the things I just don't have time to get to on TV. If you're a long-time viewer of Weather for Weather Geeks, thanks for sticking with me. I've been doing these videos for just about 6 years now. Hard to believe, and they've gathered quite an audience and a fan base, and I really appreciate it. Quick look at where we've been so far through the first 3 weeks of May. Tuesdays have struggled in May, and that included today. We've been below average in the temperature department and the high temperature department each Tuesday this month. Wednesday and Thursday have been our pick days for temperatures, high temperatures at least. So far in May, we've been above average every Wednesday and Thursday. That trend will continue this week as a nice warm-up is coming over the next 2 days. For the month as a whole, 2 degrees warmer than average, and no doubt May of 2019 will go into the record books as a warmer than average May, but nowhere near as warm as last May was, which was the warmest May on record. And that, pretty much jives with what our forecast was this year. We called for a warmer than average month, but nothing like we had in May of 2018. High temperatures today, of course, below the average by 7 degrees in Youngstown, but the number is even more impressive in some other locations. 12 in Pittsburgh, 13 New Philly, Akron, 12 in Cleveland, all these temperature departures from average. This will be the last cooler than average day we have for a while, for probably at least a week, if not 10 days or so. Now, today's forecast, cloud cover-wise, left a little to be desired. It was cloudier than I thought it would be today. Deck of altostratus clouds, altocumulus clouds mixed in from time to time today, just made for kind of a gloomy-looking day, a pretty chilly day overall as a result. Temperatures did struggle. Now, our temperature forecast wasn't bad today. But yeah, not a great forecast when it comes to the sky cover. It was definitely a little bit cloudier than expected. Maybe a sprinkle in a couple of spots this evening falling out of these clouds. There's a lot of dry air at the surface, but can't rule out a quick sprinkle in some spots. Severe weather risk this evening, 2 locations. One out here in Kansas, where a severe thunderstorm watch is out in the yellow. This is a tornado watch in the red. That includes the St. Louis metro area. The severe weather risk yesterday, really a lot of gnashing of teeth in the weather community today about this outbreak or lack thereof yesterday into last night across parts of Texas and Oklahoma. You probably are aware that there was a high risk of severe weather issued for this zone through here, a very rare high risk issuance by the Storm Prediction Center, first time in a couple of years. The alarm bells were going off. Hey, this is going to be a significant tornado outbreak. Some long-lived, violent tornadoes are going to be a possibility. Everything was there. The atmosphere was absolutely loaded for bear. The big outbreak, at least in terms of high-end tornadoes, did not happen. That's a good thing from a public safety standpoint. From a forecasting standpoint, there's going to be a lot of studies into what happened with this and why the forecast, didn't pan out exactly as expected. Now, of course, there were tornadoes. Lots of video of tornadoes. There was some damage, but no fatalities, no injuries. That is really something, considering what the atmosphere had to offer yesterday, particularly from Oklahoma City on south towards the Red River. This really was an underachieving event for tornadoes. Where it did not underachieve was the flooding risk. And that was well advertised. The forecast for the flooding worked out well. Lots and lots of rain from Oklahoma City on north. So interesting from a meteorological perspective what happened. A lot of theories being thrown out there I've seen today on Twitter. I think there was probably a small mid-level layer of warm air that stopped the updrafts from getting too high in the sky. The storms did not get real tall, and therefore had a hard time realizing all the atmosphere had to offer. So while there were some severe thunderstorms, there was hail, there was some damaging winds, there were some tornadoes, this could have been a lot worse. All right, back here at home. Clouds this evening. Clouds will hang tough for a lot of the night tonight. We'll see some clearing from time to time. I think tomorrow is going to be a better day overall. Now, it's going to start chilly upper 40s, but with this warm front pushing in, you'll notice the change in the afternoon will return to the middle and upper 70s, even approaching 80 in some spots. Now, towards the end of the day tomorrow, I think this is going to be a low coverage kind of a thing, but there's going to be some popcorn showers, thunderstorms that try to pop during the late afternoon, and especially into the early evening hours tomorrow. I think a lot of us are going to miss this, but there's enough instability in the atmosphere, enough ingredients tomorrow that if we do get a couple of thunderstorms to pop, there's a low-end chance that these could get a little bit feisty. So the Storm Prediction Center does have us outlined in the low-end risk, kind of a 1 on a scale of 1 to 5. So I'm not real impressed with the severe weather risk around here tomorrow, but it's something that can't be ruled out. All right, as we go into the day Thursday, another dying cold front will approach from the west. This one's, even though it's dying, it's a little stronger than tomorrow's front that approaches. Now, I don't really love what our in-house model here is showing on Thursday. I don't think this is necessarily the right idea at this point. It shows a band of showers, perhaps some thunder right around midday, and pardon me, and then not much after that. I kind of think that the higher risk of wet weather is later in the day on Thursday, towards the late afternoon into the evening. So the model depiction here probably is not right. I also don't really agree with what the model's showing on Friday. Taken literally, it would suggest a couple of showers around on Friday. We have a dry forecast for Friday, so not real impressed with the latest run of this model. We'll see what future runs bring, but other modeling is more in line with what I think is going to happen. Scattered showers and storms towards the end of the day Thursday, and a pretty nice day on Friday. Now, SPC does have us outlined in the slight risk, kind of a 2 on the scale of 1 to 5. For severe weather, Thursday into Thursday night, I do think there's a somewhat higher risk of some gusty storms during the second half of the day Thursday as compared to Wednesday. I still don't think it's a big outbreak or anything, but this is a day that we may have to be weather aware. All right, as we head into Memorial Day holiday weekend, again, I think Friday's going to be a pretty nice day, partly to mostly sunny. Now, Saturday is, at this point, looking a little unsettled, especially in the afternoon. It's going to be warm. It's going to be muggy. I think dew points will be north of 60. And with another cold front approaching, this could be a day where we have to be weather aware once again. This probably actually holds the best chance for severe weather out of the 3 days we've discussed. Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. I would rank Saturday as the day in which I think there is the highest potential of severe weather. Pretty innocuous shower and thunderstorm activity is going to be a possibility for Sunday and Monday, and temperatures will not be quite as warm, I think, as on Saturday. So more updates on the severe weather risk on Saturday in future editions of this video, and of course on air and online. Storm Prediction Center does have us already outlooked in a severe weather risk for Saturday. That's day 5. So that's not something you see around here very often, where they already have an outlook for the 5th day of the forecast. Last night was Monday night, so we had a fresh batch of European long-range modeling here. I occasionally show this, not because it's the answer key, certainly, but because it does take us out through about a month and a half, and sometimes we look for some trends that seem reasonable. And you know, we've been talking about how June this year is likely not going to be very hot. I talked about that earlier this month on this video, and latest European modeling kind of jives with that idea. Here's the warmth, which kind of fades, I think, as we go into the first week of June. Now, the first week of June, climatologically speaking, is warm. Average highs are in the mid-70s. But compared to average, you know, I don't see much in the way of impressive heat here in the first week to 10 days of June on this run. And the rest of June, you see a lot of blue. Now, the European model in recent months has had a cold bias in the longer range. So is there this much blue in reality? I kind of doubt it. But will June, you know, trend probably towards average and not be exceptionally warm? Yeah, I think that's right. I think that June will be pretty ho-hum temperature and precipitation-wise. And well, today is only the 21st day of May. We'll have an updated June forecast coming up in about a week. That's it for tonight's weather for Weather Geeks. Thank you as always for watching. Another edition of this video coming your way on Wednesday.